so you can, so that, so, yeah, ow, it still hurts. Okay, it's kind of dulling a little bit. I think I'm reaching the third stage of pain, which is I can feel it kind of like numbing out. My body's starting to adapt to the pain. In some places, on my coccyx, or like near the end of my like spine, it's definitely like getting close to the bone. It's definitely getting close to the bone there, and that also hurts a fair amount. It hurts a lot actually, more than just like the normal amount, I will say. I can kind of read some of your stuff. How long are you sitting on this mat? So from what I heard, he said, he didn't give a specific time as far as I remember, but he did say that if it still hurts, you haven't been on there long enough. So that's basically my plan, is to be on here until I no longer feel any pain whatsoever. Now, if that's just because all my nerve endings in my back have died, or if it's just because I've transcended to another plane and I am now immune to all torture, I'm not sure necessarily which one, but he did just say stay on there until you no longer feel pain. I'm kind of moving into the, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of moving into the fourth stage right now. It's no longer just all pain. Now it's just sort of like a dull pain. Before it was like really bad and it hurt a lot. Now it's pretty bad and hurts a lot. And it's more like, yeah, my body is starting to acclimate to all of this. I felt no popping of my skin, which means that no spikes have penetrated my flesh yet. So I'll take it. I think I'm moving into the fourth stage of pain at this moment, which once again is still pain, but it doesn't really hurt that much anymore. It still hurts. I still know that I'm in pain, but everything is starting to get really warm now. Blood is starting to rush to my back, and I would imagine this is the point in time where I've started to develop the cool dinosaur pattern that he originally talked about. I would hope. I hope at least. I hope I get something out of this. Please subscribe. Ow! Yeah, laughing still hurts. Okay. Wait. Okay. I'm alright. I'm gonna try and close my eyes and maybe envisioning myself as like a cool dinosaur is going to work out. I kind of want to be like one of those dinosaurs with like a fin on its, like the frill on its back, kind of like a Spinosaurus. But I want there to be like spikes on it too. Not necessarily so I can fight with it, but I think that looks really cool. Like a big powerful tail, not necessarily one that I fight with either, but I can kind of swing it around and it helps me balance a little bit. Maybe like a carnivore, maybe omnivore type thing, maybe like a hippo, like a cool dinosaur type hippo would be really cool, mostly because like I think being like carnivores are typically way cooler than herbivores, but at the same time, but carnivores are, but like at the same time I don't want to like kill all the time because sometimes it makes me feel bad. And I kind of want to switch up my diet from just like meat and flesh all the time. So maybe some berries would be really cool to work in there every now and again. Something along those lines maybe. Like the scales would be really cool, I would hope at least. I'm definitely not cold-blooded right now. It's starting to heat up. Like everything's starting to heat up. I now feel like I'm laying on like a heat mat at this point in time. Once again, I do believe it's my body trying to save itself from dying. But yeah, I'm definitely, it's definitely warm. It's definitely really warm now. Way warmer than it was before. And honestly, I don't feel that much pain. There's still pain. But if I was going to put like a number to it, it's probably like 20% of the pain that I felt originally. Because laying down it was like a youch. Like right now, it's kind of like a oof. You know what I mean? You feel me? I think you get what I'm saying. It was like at first it was like a yahoo type pain, like a Hanna-Barbera a Tom type scream kind of pain, the type of pain that you would like jump up and I would fly through the ceiling of my room and leave like a me-shaped print in the ceiling. But I'm kind of chilling now. It does absolutely still hurt, but I'm kind of chilling now. The pillow did actually help. The pillow is helping a little bit. It kind of takes it took a little bit of weight off. I've started to feel a lot of warmth, even more warmth than I did before. Start to creep in from like the bottom of my back up. It hurts. Okay, wait. So what's going on, everyone? How do I look? Do I look like I'm about to look like a cool dinosaur or something? Thank you everybody for the sub. I haven't seen any of the subs. Thank you for the thank you for the subs. I appreciate you. Okay, I'll shout you out when I get the moment. I can't see it too much right now. I'm like across my room. Okay, but he did.
Excuse me, goddamn.
Say is that if you want to like up the ante, then I do really want to look like a cool dinosaur. If you wanted to up the ante, you could put your feet up on something to put more weight on your back, so you can like get closer to Nirvana or something, and you can like ascend the astral plane and become something greater than both human and object and animal. You can pierce the heavens by allowing these spikes to pierce your back. So I'll just like my feet are over here near the wall, so I'll just kind of like put my feet up really quick and okay. Oh no. Okay, wait. I gotta chill. I'm shifting too much. I gotta chill. Chill. I'm back to step 2 of pain. It's not step 1. It's definitely step 2. It's definitely back to step 2. I was so close to it being perfectly fine, and I was forgetting that I was laying on spikes. I fell down. I fell down. It's like playing, it's like playing one of those the cheaply made Unity asset flip janky physics get to the top of this mountain of trash type games, and then you like make one slip and then you see them fall for 30 seconds. That was me right there. That was not good. I'm keeping my feet up though. I'm not taking them down because I ain't no bitch. So I'm going to live. I'll live. Maybe slightly, but I'll live. I'll definitely make it. Misinput. I am going beyond plus ultra. I can see. I can reach it. I can see plus ultra. I shouldn't have picked my arm up. Yep, that side of my back is now reverted back to step 1. Horrible mistake. I'm creeping up back to step 3. Step 3 is here. The warmth has started to like move across my entire body. Some of my body is now to step 5 where I don't really feel much pain at all, but it's like a very small amount. Most of it still hurts like a bitch. Most of it still hurts a lot. But I'm living. I think I can make it. Now, would I ever want to do this again? That's another question. I think the answer is no. But I don't know. Maybe when I'm done, maybe the answer will be yes. Maybe on like a really bad back day at the gym or something, I'll be like, I need to. I mean, apparently people like sleep on this sometimes. So it can't be that bad, can it? Right? I can't look over too much because then my ear touches one of the spikes. And that hurts too. Okay, wait, I'm creeping up to step 4 of pain. It's still pain, but it's not that much. And some of my back, and more of my back now is at like step 5, where it's not really that much pain at all. I have to relax. I was tensing up too much. I have to relax. Okay, so I'm gonna try to relax a little bit and see if that'll like help me out and it'll work better. I think it might. The likelihood of it, I mean, yeah, that does feel better. I was fighting really hard. My body went into fight or flight mode on the mat. I can't lie. It does still hurt. But yeah, how was your all's day? Do I look like I'm living? Do I look like I'm in pain?
Fuck.
I am going the distance. I'm going.
God damn it.
And I'm not alone in my time of need because I have you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me through this transitionary period of me. I feel like I'm evolving like a Pokemon.
Fucked everything up.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've reached the next stage of human evolution. I am something greater than what I was before. Well, at least I'm in the process. You know that thing where like my flesh is melting. They told me that my metamorphosis would be brutal, but my figure at the end would be worth it, and that figure would be cool dinosaur. And so I'm in.
God damn it!
I'm in for it. I can't.
Fuck my team. And I don't have my fucking overdrive. God damn it!
You look like you're dying. I can't tell you you're wrong, but dying and dead are two different states. And as long as I'm in a constant, perpetuating state of dying, that means I could always pull back out and then live. Which the likelihood of that happening is pretty high at the moment, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'll make it. I have, most of my body has reached 5.
Come on, bro.
It doesn't really hurt that much anymore. I would imagine that this is what white people feel like when they get a sunburn on their back. Something along those lines. It's more of like it's not a sharp pain anymore. It's more of like a dull. It's more of like a dull, kind of hot.
The stun grenade doesn't do a goddamn thing.
Now, some places it's pulsing a little bit. It's pulsing. I can't lie. It's throbbing a tiny bit. Ow. There is some throbbing. There is definitely.
Bro, get the fuck out of here. Get your ass out of my face.
But I'm making it. I think I can do this. I don't think I need to spend too much time on this. I'm definitely past the halfway point. I think we're in the home stretch of this point. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit longer, to see if I just
God damn it.
Back there, and then we can pull off, and then I can show you what my back looks like, and you can tell me if I look like a cool dinosaur. Okay? Please tell me.
Yes, Krieger. Stay away from the VTOL, please.
I don't know what the point of any of this would be.
I was doing that a little bit too, but
I would definitely say.
I think I stayed around it enough.
Don't. But
God
if you
damn
still do, I would say go ahead. It's not too bad. It definitely could be like way worse. I've experienced worse things, you know, like riding your Razor scooter down a hill and then hitting a big rock and then, you know, scraping up your flesh on the
Good shit.
pavement, getting cheese grated on the pavement. That's definitely worse than this. It's pretty bad, but it's not like that. I don't feel like I gotta cry home to my mom and say that I got a boo-boo. You think I should go upstairs and show my mom? You think she'll be like, wow, so cool? What do you...
Krieger, you're still by the VTOL, man.
She doesn't know that I got... My parents don't know that I got this. You think, you think they'll be like...
God damn. Krieger, join us here in the middle or go on the side or something.
Do we have
Dude's
time?
using the
Does
VTOL for
anybody
cover.
know how long I've
As
been
it,
on
he's
here?
using the
Anybody been
VTOL.
timing?
God damn it, Krieger,
I
using the
have not been
VTOL
timing.
as cover. As like a dino distraction. Just stay
already bought
up here
one?
with us in the middle.
It's not too bad.
Or like off to the side
I'm
where
I've definitely-
the
I'm
thing
definitely
spawns.
most of my, like 90% of my back has reached like step 5 where he said that's the part where the magic happened. I'm definitely having magic happen at this point in time. I'm not gonna say that I'm not. Magic is happening. It has, a lot of my back has just gone numb now, and it's just like,
Where the fuck did you come from, bro? I wasn't even doing anything to you.
it's just kind of warm.
We got a
Maybe this
full
will look
fucking
like
bot
that.
game. Let's just
Must feel
leave.
like a little bit.
Oh,
Or maybe, no, it's the
jeez.
opposite. People say that their body like starts to run cold.
I
once
fucked
they
that
start to lose
entire
weight.
game up by fucking up my
I don't know.
dying by that fucking explodey
Maybe
guy.
This is what like dying of like.
As soon as I
internal
pressed
bleeding
my
feels
special.
like. You know, everything just starts to feel.
Oh,
you go
I
numb
thought
and
my
everything just
special would
starts
give
to
me
feel
hyper
warm.
armor.
Like the blood isn't leaving your body, but
I don't
it's
think they
definitely
have that
where
in
it's
this
supposed to
game.
be.
If you use your special, you're still vulnerable.
It's
Fuck.
possible. It's like I'm dying on the side of
Ugh.
the freeway after getting into a head-on collision. Just like a more peaceful version of that.
I'm trying to get that coveted top 20 master of the Savage
What a
Gauntlet.
time to be alive. What
I know I
time-
deserve it. I just need the right team. If we
9
coordinate, we
minutes?
can do it.
Okay. That's not too bad. I think some people said like about 10 minutes is should be good before you start to but before you start to feel better. But okay. I think
But she could be really good for freezing the dinos.
2 minutes. You be silent. The 2 minutes. I'm gonna beat you. It's been 4 minutes. Okay, I think do you guys think I should pull up? Do you think I should pull up now and see and you know we can survey?
I'm gonna
the
play as
damage?
Vigilant.
What do you guys think?
She's really good. Super strong. This might be perfect for her.
Like Tom the Tomato. I went like, Tomatoes mode, like that guy that I saw. I have too much melanin, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it will look kind of cool. What do you think? 1 in chat if I should pull up. 2 in chat if
I gotta
if
find a
should
spot
stay
to
down.
snipe with her on the last round. Where they won't fuck with me. Or fuck with me as much.
Up above the party. I don't know that song, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. What do y'all think? I see it kind of split. I see a lot of 1s and 2s. Gonna be honest with you. Some 2s. You think I should stay down? You think what? Like why? Do I have I not reached the point where the magic happens? Is this not it? Give it all you have. I should just stay down here for the rest of the stream. I should just stream from down here. I should just do a little like Spike Mat podcast.
Presenting my most exciting combat project, the Savage Gauntlet.
So welcome back to
Parameters of this test. Explore the combined efforts of 5
welcome back to Spike Spot. The
All right, we got
podcast
3
where
vigilantes.
we record from a spike mat on the floor. Today we're going to be talking about spikes digging into your back. It hurts. Oh wait, something's happening. There's like a sort of like summer camp tie-dye shirt effect with like pulsing pain and like pulsing warmth running through my back, and I don't know why. It just came out of nowhere while I was kind of talking. I have no clue why, but it's there. It's there now. Who are you?
Look at my ass.
Why are you doing this?
Let
I
it be your
wonder what-
motivation
I
for the
wonder
fight,
what my
boys.
body is
Let's go.
doing. I'm a little worried. Dino? You think that's the dino? That's the dino happening? That's the dino patterns? At least I get to have this with JJK music. At least I love this song. I love this song. Okay, wait. Okay, I think I think. Please, Shark. Okay, wait. This could be the new meta. This should be the new meta. You're right. This is way more. I'm not gonna lie. Spike Mat is way more ethical than watching 30 seasons of Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen on stream. I will say. Maybe not as entertaining, but it's definitely more ethical. I will say that. I think it's more sustainable. I think it's more sustainable. I would imagine. But okay, I think I'm gonna pull up. All right, feet down. Okay.
Good shit, good shit. Kill out the butt heads.
Oh, I feel like human Velcro. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. that felt like my back was made of. Oh, and now it's so cool. And now my back is becoming so cool. There is no blood.
God damn it! Stay still, Merzam. Fucking bitch.
No blood.
Where's the? Oh shit! These guys. God damn it!
All right. Put this as a channel point redeem. All right, 1,000 channel points. That's 10 minutes on the mat. All right. Cool. You're actually dying now. Yeah, like it was all warm, but now it's starting to become cool. Like a rush of just cold started to wash over my back instead. That is wild. Actually, though, that'd be great. Show the back. He's fading. I'm fading away. Show back. Okay, wait. Yeah, let's see if I become a cool dinosaur. Wait 1 second. Okay. So wait. Okay. So does it? How does it look? Does it look kind of crazy? What do you think? What do you think? Let me know. Whoa! I'm Dino mode. Let's go! Mission success. Dino achieve a little sweaty. Yeah, I'm very sweaty back there. Actually, it's very. Ooh, can you see? I don't know. It's very wet. Sorry, you're gonna die. All right. Well, at least I reached Dino mode. It's subtle. It's a subtle Dino. Okay.
Good shit.
The adrenaline will do that. I think so. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it.
Alright, I can freeze the two dinos here in the middle too. Come get your health. Let's get juiced up. Come on, Krieger. I keep forgetting about that. Oh, how did we fail? Oh, there goes my overdrive. Well, not gonna get that ability again. God damn it.
Summoning gas needle source. Dinosaurs are attacking the VTOL. Pay attention to this durability. VTOL durability 75%.
God damn it. How come my shit didn't heal her?
Summoning gas needle source.
It's so hard to heal with Sky.
VTOL durability 25%. Destruction.
Man.
Follow the Watcher to your destination.
Let's go.
Preparing combat area. A skilled piloted in this suit can swap modes to dish out damage and repairs. Summoning T-Rex. Summoning gas needle source. Summoning gas needle source. Summoning Stegosaurus.
Jesus, Marsam. Jesus, that was fast. What the fuck, guys? This must be like their first time doing it or something.
Initiate VTOL defense mission. Preparing combat area. Summoning T-Rex. Summoning gas needle source.
Marsam and Krieger, stay right here in the middle. I got you guys. I'll keep you juiced up.
Summoning Stegosaurus.
Get away from the VTOL, asshole! Motherfucker standing right in front of it.
Summoning gas needle source.
Oh, come on, guys. You got 8. I got you. She's Nimbus is probably the best at healing.
Summoning gas needle source.
King size dick gave up. God damn it, guys. What the fuck is going on?
Congratulations. That was one of the highest.
I'm leaving. Victory. We won?
See its bright side
Oh.
projections.
Good time. Holy shit. God damn, boy. I didn't see the Vigilant. I didn't see Vigilant using her ice ball that much. Or maybe she was missing it. Because you do have to hit 2 in a row to freeze a big dino. I think Skywave might be best though. We somehow fucked that first game up. Her freeze ability and that her little circle thing is nice to keep the big dinos drawn in. Let her keep the cannon.
Deck verified. That shows that you're spending enough effort on trying to optimize it that you're taking those steps to work with Steam and to make sure that these boxes are checked. So it's a good look. Of course, there are performance issues, as I mentioned earlier, with some of the technical issues. There's some frame drops. There's some weird load time optimizations where when you're exploring Hogwarts Castle, you'll have to wait before going through a doorway for it to finish loading and let you through. And that stuff is annoying, but bizarrely enough, it doesn't really impact my enjoyment of the exploration of the world. I thought it would. Most games it normally would, but I think that's more a testament to how well they've put this thing together, and also the power of this franchise and the world that is here, because players can deal with that stuff and they frankly don't care, whereas for other games that aren't in this franchise, they probably would. Granted, it's basically a logical fallacy to say that this game, I don't care about the graphical hitching and the frame drops and things, but in this
Trying
game
to see
I
something
do.
over there,
The
Sam?
only
I saw
difference
you.
between them is subject matter. That is a fallacy. That is a leap in logic. We're being consistent.
Somebody already
in
left,
how we
god damn
evaluate
it.
These things. We should be consistent. We should say that it's not okay over here and it's not okay over here. But in terms of enjoyment of the game, what I'm reporting to you is that for me, I didn't feel like, okay, I can't play this. I'm going to put it down until they fix these bugs and the frame hitching. I can't really explain to you why, other than my brain just enjoyed exploring and seeing more of this world enough that it was willing to put up with those issues. And part of it perhaps is that the gameplay, the exploration, the controls, everything else is sort of built in a way where you can have a little bit of that stutter and the sluggishness, and it won't qualitatively affect your time with the game. Whereas if you're playing something like Elden Ring, which had
Come on,
a
guys.
PC launch in terms of optimization on day one, you could be playing that game and there's all sorts of stutters and drops, which for that game, combat is the name of the game, and to have stutters every time a boss throws an attack at you just makes the game unplayable. Whereas a couple of frame drops here and there while flying on your broomstick is not actually that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. So yes, it's special pleading, it's sort of a special exception, but it's also just a reflection of the type of game this is, and then also the subject matter included. Players just love this world so much that they're willing to put up with more stuff. It's unfortunate. I think that they should have polished this a little bit more, and I'm sure they're going to continue to polish this in the months to come. But as of right now, even about a month and a half after launch, there are still some hitchings, there's still some problems graphically with some pop-in and weird load time issues as I run this off of my 4090. Like, this still is having problems, and I hope they fix it in the future.
Headhunter.
Deserves
Where are you
other
going,
first
bro?
impressions would include the tremendous music and the score included here. As I alluded to earlier, this is one of the frustrations I have with games like this that are part of
Beautiful.
established franchises, because I would normally like to just put the music as the background track for this type of critique. But I can't
Headhunter,
do
you
that
dumb
because all of this
dipshit.
is copyrighted out the ass. Like, I will never be able to play any of the music without getting this entire video demonetized, and it'd just be terrible. So I am just not going to do that, but I'm sure I don't need to tell you that the music in this game is great.
Hey guys, quick little editor's note. We were actually able to pay for the rights to one of the songs from Harry Potter. We only got a little tidbit of it, and it's one of the unused tracks from, I believe, the third film.
Dumbass.
It cost about $18,000 for us to get, but it's considered lost media, so we thought it was worth it. So here it is for you.
He keeps trying to
First
attack
time
me.
ever from
Beautiful.
John Williams himself, one of the unused Dobby themes from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, 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 Hogwarts Castle, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter.
They've managed to strike a balance between an homage to the films and then also making it its own. They've also said in various interviews before and after the launch of the game that they wanted to make sure that the music felt familiar and then also separate. And because this game takes place roughly a century before the events of Harry Potter, they decided to also simplify the music so that it reflects the simpler times. And all told, it's done very, very well. Now, another thing that I was looking forward to experiencing in my first few hours of the game was broom flight. But that's something that the game takes anywhere from 3 to 5 hours
Beautiful.
to introduce to you, mainly because they want to make sure you get your feet under you in terms of combat, in terms of basic understanding of the gameplay loop, those types of things, before they give you access to that. I understand why they chose to do this, but I found it quite frustrating because I wanted to just get out and explore. I wanted to go do stuff, but in this game they really take their sweet time. So you will likely be spending the first 5 hours completing side quests and grinding up
Bro,
your
don't be
XP
silly. I got you.
instead of navigating outside the castle. If you really enjoy exploring the castle, you won't mind it, and honestly that time will probably fly. But for me, I wanted to fly myself, and so I grew a little bit frustrated in these first few hours while waiting for access to the broom. I might
Get 'em,
be alone
boys.
in that. Some of you probably experienced something similar, where it's not that you didn't like exploring the castle, you just wanted to be able to explore everything and anything. So this is going to be kind of a mixed bag. It's more a matter of personal opinion. One of the things I still feel, though, is not a matter of personal opinion, is the Dementor inclusion. Now, you may have just heard me mention Dementors, and you could have finished this game and you're like, what Dementors? And that's kind of the point. There are Dementors in this game, and that's important because they were included on the box art for the collector's edition and the deluxe edition of the game. I mean, I'm not crazy here. You see the castle, the Thestrals in the background, thunder and lightning, which unfortunately there
Are you fucking kidding me? How did he get me up there?
Really cool thing
What was that?
Dynamic thunderstorm system and things like that. But you know
What the fuck?
beggars can't be choosers. But down here you can see also they have Dementors.
Yeah, I was kind of sucking
Clearly
some dick
visible.
that round. I wasn't
My
healing very
understanding
well.
is if you show something in the artwork for the game that you use to
Alright, my
advertise
bad,
it,
guys.
the
I'm a big
expectation
fat
is
fucking
that
failure.
That's going to be in the game, right? That you're going to be able to see not just Hogwarts Castle and this player character, and then the undead, creepy, ghosty ghoulies, and the big spiders, and the dragons over here, but that you also will see the Dementors. But here's the thing. The Dementors are only available to Hufflepuffs for about 30 seconds. I'm not joking. To see this for myself, I decided to replay the opening hours
Headhunter,
of
of
the
course.
game to get
Fucking
to about
genius.
level 10 and experience this side quest for myself. In this Hufflepuff exclusive side quest, you actually get to visit Azkaban. You have to go through the opening hours of the game, get to the point where you help the lady on the side of the lake, completing the first Merlin trial, and then you'll get prompted with a note that tells you you need to go and speak to the portrait inside of the Hufflepuff common room. Once you do this, you'll complete a very
Oh my
quick quest
God.
to Azkaban, because they need your help.
So with
apparently,
Sky,
for
they're
some
just gonna
reason.
fucking
Let me
jump
just be
up and
clear, this is
attack me if
extremely
I'm-
contrived. It doesn't
if I'm
honestly
doing too
feel
good.
grounded at all. This feels
Thanks,
like
bro.
they just
Appreciate
were trying
that.
to come up with some reason to get the player to Azkaban for 2-3 minutes, and this was the best they could come up with. They're like, oh, we need a student's help because you're capable and you're good at stuff, and you have that
Yep,
book,
we're fucked.
which is the field guide, and you need
Man.
that for this, so we're going to take you to the worst place in the wizarding world, even though that seems irresponsible, and you're only going to be there for about a minute and a half, whatever. We're just going to do that. It feels really odd. And I'm not joking. You get transported there with this lady. You see the Dementors off in the distance. She casts Expecto Patronum, they get blown off, and that's the last you see of the Dementors in the entire game. You walk down this hallway, see a few prisoners, you speak to this crazy lady, and then you're transported back out. I know it might seem like I'm exaggerating, but I really took
2
my time
roadblocks,
walking through
perfect.
Azkaban, at least the
And a
section I had
dumbass
access
bot.
to, and this whole
This is gonna
section
go great.
lasts about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. If you were just walking straight from the location you start at the end of the hallway to the other side, it would probably take you just under 3 minutes, honestly. And the section with Dementors lasts in total. Hold on, let me count. Okay, I have my stopwatch. I'm gonna start it the moment that the Dementors come on screen. You ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. There they are. I see them there. Timer going. Okay, they're coming. Oh, spooky, spooky, ghosty, ghouly, so scary. They come at you. And then she casts Expecto Patronum. Expecto Patronum! It's a bunny! And they get blasted away. And you're ready. That's the last we see of them. All told, about 20 seconds. Maybe I expected too much. Maybe I'm greedy. I don't know. I just honestly thought that if they included Dementors in the box art and advertising campaign, that they'd be in the game for more than 20 seconds, but not really, no. Maybe there's a section of the game I never found where you get to experience them a lot more, but even in the Dark Arts arena, even in places like that, you don't get to see them, and this is the only place, as far as I'm aware, that they appear in the entire game. So I will say this is a point of marked disappointment. For one, that Dementors are locked behind Hufflepuff exclusivity. I get
All
they
right,
wanted to have
let's
quests
end
exclusive
this.
to each house, but to have something as cool as access to Azkaban and then also Dementors locked behind house affiliation just kind of blows to me. And secondly, the fact that it's so short-lived is a real bummer as well. Now, beyond these smaller quests, the player will spend the first 3 to 5 hours slowly making their way through the castle grounds, exploring some familiar areas and some new places that have yet to be seen although they were likely described in the books. And every square inch of the castle is fantastically well realized, and it's extremely impressive what they managed to do here. It really does feel like you're exploring this real castle, the same one that Harry and all of his groupies explored, or I guess will explore. And this is probably the first moment that things will start to become polarizing for players. As I alluded to earlier with regards to the broom, one of my college buddies spent 10 hours playing through these opening sections, whereas I felt frustrated in the opening hours because I knew what was outside the castle too. I just wanted to get on my broom and start exploring. So instead of spending the first chunk of my time aimlessly meandering around the castle, I elected to be more deliberate with my time and save the freeform exploration for later. As a result, for some, these opening hours will likely feel extremely sluggish, as they did for me. But for others, like my college roommate, they will probably feel slow but relaxed. And I don't think any one perception is more correct than the other, but I think it's important to acknowledge that some players will certainly have different opinions depending on how they approach exploration in these opening bits. If they wanted to wait until they had all the necessary tools, they would likely find these opening hours extremely slow and frustratingly rigid, whereas if somebody wanted to just immediately start exploring specifically the castle grounds, they will probably be happy with how chill and guided these opening hours are, since they take you all over the castle into every corner and niche for various reasons. Once you finally break out of the castle off to Hogsmeade, you meet some more characters, like the aforementioned shop owners and even Rookwood. Now, Rookwood is an interesting character, mainly in that he's so uninteresting. This character was shown off again in the early promotional materials of the game. He was sort of presented as the right-hand man of Ranrock, and that he would be one of the main antagonists of the game. But he also has very, very little screen time, like shockingly little. He just kind of shows up once every few hours for a minute or two, and then he disappears, but he's all anybody's talking about for the last like third of the game. It's really, really weird, and I can't help but wonder if they had whole sections with him that were just cut towards the end of development, because it's so weird how little he appears. But in this opening section, we see Rookwood bring two massive trolls into Hogsmeade. And this immediately tells us that, again, these guys are not afraid of putting people in danger for the sake of their cause. I think that these types of narrative set pieces and story beats are very, very important, because they establish that these villains are not to be trifled with, and that there will be actual consequences for getting in their way. I mean, he literally brought trolls to this small village in an attempt to kill some children. If that's not evil, I don't know what is. And I think this is why I'm all the more frustrated by the fact that Rookwood is so underwhelming in terms of villains. He probably could have been really, really interesting, but instead, all we really get to know about him is that he is a bad guy who is bad because he's bad, and that he also likes to have his men help like poach animals out in the wilderness, as you see in Poppy's side quest line. But like, that's it. He's so underutilized and underexplored, it's really bizarre. Similarly, Ranrock himself is severely underdeveloped. Unless you really pay attention and perhaps even do some side research, Ranrock will simply seem like your stereotypical bad guy who wants power because he feels entitled to it due to his lineage. And he's extremely powerful simply because he is. And this is an extremely common problem in Hogwarts Legacy. There are countless examples of characters who the writers seem to just assume you're interested in or captivated by. But unfortunately, they don't take the time to build that relationship with the player. You meet all of your professors when you go to class, and at the end of the game, there's dialogue that I think is supposed to be heartwarming, because you see just how proud your professors are of you for overcoming your adversities in your first year. But you don't know any of these professors. Many of them you've only seen or talked to 2 to 3 times roughly through the whole story, usually for less than 5 minutes in total. And this is where the game, I think, really suffers from spreading itself too thin. The Harry Potter books spent multiple entries and many school years building relationships between characters and professors and the secondary cast. But in this game, they try to do it all at the same time, which is why it feels somewhat rushed. And I know it may seem bizarre to say that a game that can entertain you from anywhere between 30 and 80 hours is rushed, but it's simply because they rush this one aspect of the story. They don't take the time to build relationships, but rather they just assume or hope that the player will care about these characters. In the same way that they expect the player to just turn their brain off to the fact that they don't know the backstory for their character, why they're there, what their background is, where their parents are, what they do, any of that stuff. They want you to just turn your brain off to the fact that you don't know these professors, you don't really know the students. So at the end of the school year, when everybody's chanting for you and everybody is like, oh, you rock, you got us extra points, so we win the house cup, all of this stuff, none of it really makes sense because you've spoken with them for just a handful of minutes at the max, and it just feels off. It doesn't work quite right. But if you turn your brain off to it, you're just like, yes, I'm a student at Hogwarts and I'm so happy to be here, and you can have a great time. But you kind of have to turn your brain off to it. And I really do think that they could have pulled this off. If you look at a game like Persona 5, for example, where you are playing as a student, meeting various characters, I think you could very reasonably build some amazing relationships with the characters and classmates you have in this game. But instead, they just don't. Instead, they embrace open, endless exploration first and foremost, and relationships with side characters takes a back seat. This is why I think a companion system would be a match made in heaven in this game, something that they sort of play around with in the opening sections of the game, where they send you on missions with Sebastian, or Natsai, or side quests where you're running through the forest with Poppy and things like that. But if they allowed you to actually go and work with these characters, either through the main story or through side content separately, I think it could have worked really, really well. Another great example of a character that falls flat as a result of poor development is Lodgok. He's the goblin who helps you take down Ranrock and Rookwood. But later in the game, when he's killed right in front of you, it's one of the few times we see the game's main villains doing something clearly bad. And I think that this was supposed to motivate the player to take down Ranrock and Rookwood in the final series of missions. It's sort of the last kickoff before the finale. But for me, at least, this moment lacked significant emotional punch. We didn't really get to know Lodgok as far as I'm concerned, not to mention that multiple members of the secondary cast will repeatedly tell you that he shouldn't be trusted and to keep a close eye on him. Granted, this is done in an attempt to signify bigotry towards goblin kind, but either way, it just makes Lodgok seem like somebody we might not know, so we should be cautious. So instead of just building the relationship with Lodgok, we instead watch this guy with skeptical hippo eyes, and then he's killed right in front of us by Ranrock. It's supposed to be an intense, emotionally motivating moment, but instead, it just falls kind of flat. Same with this moment right here, where after he dies, Rookwood flees because he realizes he's no longer needed by Ranrock and is probably going to get jumped by him. The way they filmed this whole sequence just makes me feel like this was supposed to be a big moment where we realize the two antagonists are now separating and will be forces on their own to combat. But instead, it just kind of happens. And it's the same for all
fucking
of the
stupid
other characters
dino right
in the game,
behind me.
except perhaps Sebastian, since you'll spend so much time with him over the course of his side quest. And to be clear, Sebastian's side quest I think is unique because his side quest is specifically tied to a very emotional issue as he learns the dark arts either with you or without you, depending on whether you choose to learn.
Oh,
and this is just a big bummer because the characters in general through this game are
somebody
pretty
save me.
interesting and unique, and there's a lot of potential here. Once I reached the end of the game's story, I realized that some of these characters I really hadn't come to know.
Where the fuck did he go?
The ending just came out of nowhere, and I was left somewhat disappointed that I never got the chance to learn more about these people. The clearest example I can think of would be Professor Fig.
This motherfucker just doing Spider-Man jumps into the air. What the fuck kind of T-Rex is this?
One of those story beats that makes you angry and leaning towards the screen as you decide to finish this villain once and for all, but that didn't really happen for me. When Ranrock seemed
how did it not freeze
right
him
in front of you right before the final boss battle, I was left thinking, well, sucks to suck, instead of
God,
oh
I'm not.
No. And this is simply because
bro, why are you coming after me? Leave me alone.
To know Professor Fig. When the game starts, you are simply forced into interacting with him in that initial conversation. And you can tell that the protagonist has had some sort of exposure with him previously, seemingly trusting him. And as the story goes on, the protagonist acts as though they've grown closer and are perhaps even friends. But I don't think that many players are going to feel that way in turn. Largely, I think most players will probably feel as though Fig is simply the signpost for the next chapter of the story. This is usually because the player has
where the fuck did this bird come from?
Some of the more intimate aspects of characters in general. It really wouldn't take much, maybe a little tidbits and cutscenes where you see Professor Fig ferociously devouring chocolate frogs, something he's all but addicted to. It's a small anecdote, but one that will be memorable and also something that makes him endearing. Or perhaps going with Professor Weasley on a walk around the castle grounds on your first day, but she's constantly stopping to straighten the picture frames when they become crooked. Small tidbits like these make characters stand out as having small quirks and individualistic elements. There are a few of these throughout the main story with some of the main cast, but largely it's all business. Cutscenes are for characters
How come
talking
my
to each other
ball
about
isn't
the
freezing
plot, the
them?
trials you need to complete, the threat of the goblins and Rookwood, and that's about it. It's not to say that every character needs to have a goofy series of sequences where you see them not taking things seriously, but it is to say that human beings are defined by their imperfections, by the things that make them individuals. And showing the player more of these for the main cast, I think,
That
would
was
make
really
story beats
fast.
like the one with Big at the end far more memorable and impactful. And this also goes for the villains. We hear a lot
was a
about
lot
how
faster
bad
than I
Rookwood
thought.
and Ranrock are, but
Maybe
other than
Vigilante
one or
is
two
the right
instances,
choice.
like the trolls at the very beginning and the death of Lodgok, we don't actually see many examples of how bad they really are. Or in the case of Rookwood, we see almost nothing of him throughout the entire game, despite his prominence in the marketing materials and in the conversations between players throughout the game. And I'll be real, this one was particularly aggressive to me because I honestly felt as though I had probably missed a quest line where you get to learn more about Rookwood, but no, he's just barely in this game. It's really, really strange. Again, it just reinforces the idea more broadly that this game either suffered significant cuts towards the end where they slashed a series of cutscenes or quest lines and things where you got to know these characters a little bit better, or it just was never there. And everything in terms of the story was always extremely superficial. Again, a cellophane story. I hope in a sequel they can spend more time and effort developing these characters, so when a character like Lodgok dies in front of you, it's impactful. So when Professor Fig dies, seemingly, in front of you, it's impactful. And you're like, oh crap, that sucked ass, and let's get it on, Ranrock. Instead of what happens here, which is like, huh, okay. And then you move on. As for side characters, we have a whole bunch. In the case of Hufflepuff, we have Adelaide Oakes, Arthur Plumley, Charlotte Morrison, Evangeline Bardsley, I'm trying to read these and pronounce them properly, Lenora Everly, Poppy Sweeting, who you'll probably know very, very well. Her questline's very, very long, and Saccharissa Tugwood. One of my favorite last names in the entire game, without any doubt. I mean, should my stripper name be Tugwood from now on? That's pretty good, right? Also, is it just me, or did she kind of stand out the most out of any of the characters in the game? Like, specifically her hair with the purple highlights in it. It seemed like somebody's created character. It didn't seem like a side character. I don't know. This one just stood out to me. I don't know why. In the case of Gryffindor, we have Cressida Bloom, Eric Northcott, Gareth Weasley, Hector Jenkins, Leroy Jenkins, Lawrence Davies, I can read, I swear to God, Leander Pruitt, who's kind of a prick, Lucan Brettleby, who you'll know from the combat arena where you kind of learn the ropes of combat, though you don't see him for much of the rest of the game. Natsai Onai, who you'll do some side quests with as well, and then Nellie Ogspire. All of these names are just badass, aren't they? As for Ravenclaw, we have Amit Thakar, Andrew Larson, Astoria Cricket, I believe, Constance Dagworth, Duncan Hobhouse, Everett Clopton, Gertrude Wigley. I love Wigley. She looks like a Wiggly, doesn't she? She looks like a Wiggly. I love it. Mahendra Helwan, I think, Samantha Dale, Sophronia
Shit.
Franklin, and Zenobia Noak. And real quick, I know what you're thinking, Luke, why are you going through all of these? I want you to just take in how many side characters there are per house. There's tons of student characters, and most of these you probably barely know. You probably can't tell me the name of them off the top of your head, except for a few of them. And that's because they're so underdeveloped, they're used so poorly and infrequently that the potential is just lost. For Slytherin, we have Anne Sallow, though technically I guess this one might not count as a student because she's not currently a student in the game. She's basically on bed rest because she was cursed. I mean, you know the deal if you played Sebastian's questline. Moving on, Grace Pinch Smedley, which Pinch-Smedley is just an awesome name. Love it dearly. Next is Imelda Reyes, or Reyes, perhaps, Nerida Roberts, Ominous Gaunt, who, I mean, also has one of the coolest names ever in the whole history of Harry Potter. Ominous Gaunt, like, come on. He's also a blind character, which is a really, really interesting thing to do, narratively speaking. And
Beautiful,
there's a lot
beautiful.
of diversity in this cast. I will give them that. There's
First round
like a ton.
done.
And having a blind
Let me
wizard was
protect
one of those
myself
things
from
I
this
didn't
big
expect
boy.
to see in the game. Is that insensitive? I didn't expect to see it in the. Okay, moving on. YouTuber Luke Stevens gets canceled after making a Vision joke in the course of his Hogwarts Legacy critique. We also, of course, have Sebastian Sallow, who we will probably know the best out of any character. Maybe it's just because I was a Slytherin myself during my main playthrough of the game. But I
Oh
felt
my
as though
God,
I
he
got to
did the
know
side
Sebastian the best
swipe.
out of any character in the game, full stop. And so, maybe I'm biased, but then again, I think that his questline's the longest, and his questline involves a lot of emotional material, so you get to see a lot of him in vulnerable emotional
Beautiful,
states,
beautiful.
which makes him stand out, to me at least. But then we come to the staff, who are of mixed qualities, in my opinion. Professor Black, as I described earlier, very underutilized without a doubt. This isn't even a controversial statement in my mind. I think everybody was pretty underwhelmed at how little he's used. There is the quest line that we get a little bit later on where you can take on his form with the Polyjuice potion and you get to walk around the school as him. It's cool, but it's a very short quest line, very short-lived. And the fact that the most uninterrupted time we get to see this character is when we are pretending to be him, I think says a lot. We also, of course, have Professor Weasley, who's very sweet and endearing. I really like her as a character, and she definitely takes on the maternal role in the castle. I think she does a great job. Eleazar Fig, who I will insist is one of the most underutilized characters as well. He's in the game a lot, but he never does anything that makes him stand out. He's just kind of there. And as I said earlier, I think he's just sort of a signpost for
Beautiful.
the next chapter or story mission.
Good
and that's
shit.
about it. He never gets the chance to really stand on his own as a character, and you never get a chance to just be with him or do stuff with him. It's always in the context
All
of
right,
some
let's
other
do this.
activity that
We got a
was distracting.
roadblock too
So
for the
I
final
find
round.
This character wholly underwhelming. I actually had this spoiled for me before the game. We were doing a live stream, and a couple of very loving and progressive people came into chat and started spamming the N-word in all caps in our live chat because we dared to play Hogwarts Legacy, and they were doing this in an attempt to get the stream taken down and struck, or to get us to private it or something. You know, nothing says progressive and like make the world a better place like spamming the N-word in the chat of a live stream of a video game, but you know, whatever. And then they also went in and they, in a coordinated attack, dropped spoilers, including Professor Fig's death, into the live chat as well, so that people would have it spoiled if they were watching live streams of this, which was really,
Fuck.
really unfortunate. And again, like, it was a coordinated attack.
Jesus.
There were probably 5 to 10 people, all different usernames and everything, that came in at the same time
Fuck
within
me.
about 2 to 3 minutes, doing all of this at once. And it just goes
Yes,
to
thank
show
you,
how
Headhunter.
dried up a lot of these people are. It's really, really pathetic. And I have to wonder, you know, I don't want to get political or anything, but, like, do you think that makes your side
Fuck.
look good? Like, if your tactic, you know, we're in the right, okay, how are we going to prove we're right? We're going to go into that live stream of people just hanging out, having a good time, and we're going to spam the N-word. Like, at what point do you realize, hey, maybe we're the bad guys? It's like being, you know, on the Death Star.
God
You know,
damn it,
walking
what the
around
fuck is with this,
your
bro?
little-
You're talking about some random crazy motherfuckers online.
Summoning gas.
They're not the main motherfucker. God damn it. First you said you weren't gonna talk about it, then you fucking go into it, man. Just shut the fuck up.
Summoning gas. Summoning Stegosaurus. Summoning gas. Dinosaurs are a type of beetle. Pay attention to its Summoning gas. Beetle durability 75%. Beetle durability 50%.
Everybody's dead.
3 seconds.
stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight now? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Each other. I think if you can,
I think that you'll find the
Well, and I
slave
mean-
owners of the South were not amicable to your particular approach. I think they were quite set in their
no
ways.
one's you're not amicable to my approach, and you're far from being a slave owner. No
Okay.
one's amicable to my approach.
Let
I'm
me
not
let
saying-
me ask you more explicitly, okay? So, with regards to the war effort, we could have fought the Civil War or not. Mind you,
Bro.
the South started it, you know, so it's not as though the North
Bro.
had prompted it. Hold on. So, if you were there, I mean, you can say, "Oh, I would have convinced him to stop slavery." But like, if
Yes,
you want to do
that's
right,
fine.
okay, sure, then you could have convinced Hitler to not do the Holocaust, and you
I
could
would have done that too.
So is there any utility to your position here, or would you have just been sort of a time-traveling saint, preventing all these atrocities that somehow the world's best statesmen weren't able to prevent in their time?
I don't think that you're being very fair in your setups for these questions.
Saying that
I
you
think
would
that
have
you're-
debated
yeah.
them out of slaveholding is kind of an odd way of going about it now.
Well, I only said that because you made me say it. And you want me to keep saying weird shit? You can corner me into saying whatever you want. Yes, I would be a time-traveling saint. And I've traveled here to you, Vosh. I'm here now to work my saintlyhood. And you're going to bear witness to it. And,
All right.
and it's
Well,
going to
then-
change your life.
Then convince me, if you would.
Well, I don't want to convince you. Okay, we can talk about that, but I just want to acknowledge what's happening here.
We got a good team. Let's
First,
go.
I'm just
2
trying
tanks.
to introduce myself,
Uh-huh.
and I'm trying
Rest
to
of soul.
compare my approach to these general problems to your approach. And then you've led us down this path where now you're saying this incredibly complex thing, a war, with a million different factors leading into it. Then you say, well, what would you have done? Which is a trap. Anything I say, you can point to the other 99,000 factors that caused it and say, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And then we can play ideological whack-a-mole. But I don't want to do that. One, because I don't think debate is particular. I don't want to debate you.
Well, I just don't see the point then of discussing some historical event and saying, you know, if your commentary in this is why I would have preferred a non-violent solution, I'm sure a great many wouldn't. My issue is that,
Would
as
you?
is the case with, sure, if it could be done, I don't think it
Okay.
could be. That's the issue. I don't
Okay,
think
that's-
anyone
that's-
else.
Yeah, so it's an idealism thing. That's fine. So my point is not to convince you or anybody that there was an alternative. My point is to say, I think there's a different lens through which we can look at historical events that is less us versus them, less good versus evil, with always positioning myself as the good, which you just admitted is not necessarily a good idea to always do that, and to say, what if we look at the way the slaves were freed? In one lens, you can see it as a great success, and in another, you can see it as a momentous failure in how that was accomplished. And I think it's a little self-protective to say, well, no, that's the only way that could have happened.
Well, the
I
issue.
don't know that that's true.
The issue is that what you're saying is meaningless.
Damn, Roadblock
If
got
your
knocked off.
prescription here
We
is
need
that
you.
any
I'm not
historical.
prescribing
Hold
anything.
on. If your prescription here is that we should approach viewing these historical events through the understanding that there was a better way, you could say that about anything under any circumstances. Any set of interpersonal or geopolitical circumstances could have gone better than the way it does. Nothing is ever
Absolutely,
perfect.
absolutely. You can
So-
always do it better.
so
My problem
the-
is that we do not look at it through that. lens.
Everybody looks at it that way. Nobody in the ramp up to the Civil War was thinking, all right, there's only one way of doing this. We're doing the Civil War, or we're not doing shit.
Good
Nobody
shit.
thought
No,
that way.
I'm saying looking back.
Looking back, there is no point in thinking of other ways things might have gone through the lens of, well, what if we talked them out of it? Because that didn't happen. People tried, you know. They tried. They left the Union. They made state constitutions specifically
don't-
enshrining the right to own black folk. I mean,
I don't agree that there's no point in looking back at past events in real life,
Yeah, we missed.
personally or globally, and thinking about what you could have done better.
Well, what could they have done better leading up to the Civil War?
This is the same thing you just tried to box me into. You know all of the vectors that pushed us exactly where we went, and
Jesus, bro.
I agree with you in a sort of fatalistic sense. There was no other way because there's only one reality that can happen, and that's the one that did. And so any factor I say, well, what if we nudge this one this way? You're going to say, well, what about this, and this? And it's a debate. I don't want to
Shit.
debate you about
Watch out, bro. Please don't
that
attack me.
specifically. If you want to,
Gotcha.
I mean, it's really a
Juke.
value difference.
Nice.
Like,
What is the
If
value
you-
difference?
that I believe.
Oh, he got Sky.
in taking a narrative that we all have, that we're all raised to believe, that abolition was
God damn it.
it was a success.
What is
And
a success?
Do you agree with the premise that the Civil War and the freeing of the slaves is generally viewed by Americans as a good thing that happened?
It was better than the alternative, sure.
You believe that people,
Oh, Jesus.
Americans generally believe
Should I have my
that
shield
there's a
up?
dichotomy of
Oh, I have my
the
shield. I keep
alternative,
forgetting.
continuing slavery, and what happened, war.
Yeah, because that's the dichotomy. It again, like, what do you want kids in history class to go? Well, it would have been better if they'd settled everything peacefully.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just that's such a stupidly naive thing to say that it almost I feel silly even repeating it. It's like, well, of course, obviously.
Oh,
yes.
thank
Your
you, Sky.
delivery was not
Really
very,
need some motivation for this last round. It's
courteous
gonna be
to me,
difficult.
but
Well,
that
of
is
course it would have
what
been
I'm
better
saying.
if they could have just if there'd been no war and if everything ever could have gone well. But I don't understand what utility looking at this. It doesn't bring us any better understanding of the events at hand, certainly, because it's not pertaining to any specific fact set. You're just talking
Well,
about
the-
it in the abstract. Maybe
Well,
things
the
could have
utility,
gone better.
you see, if, from my point of view, if I'm looking at a country that is increasingly polarized and divided, we
Did I
really
hit
have
him?
that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And I'm talking
Oh, get
to
him! Get him, boys!
various
Get him!
political people, and I have my own tiny little platform, my soapbox.
Shit.
That for me, if I'm worried about violence breaking out in the street and people increasing animosity,
We got him?
that people
Oh, shit!
have been taught historically must lead to violence, or it will lead to their worst fear. It will
Yes!
lead to the Holocaust.
I think we got a record.
Jim Crow laws.
Oh,
or,
thank God.
people being stoned
That
to
was
death.
so good.
I guess conservatives are afraid of the same things, but happening to white people or happening to Christians, or
No
sort of
doubt.
de-recognition, or being
That's it? God damn it.
having
Thought it was faster.
communism, they're having their rights
Yeah, that
taken
second
away,
round was a little
like,
slow.
Those are the things
That was still pretty good, though.
If everybody
God
approaches
damn it.
this with
Oh.
that lens, that which I believe is a false dichotomy, which you're saying is just historical truth, then you can see the utility for me of bringing up various events like the Holocaust and saying like turning it over and being like, maybe the way that the Germans were defeated, or that the Jews were, what remained of them were freed, didn't go that well. Like, we won, but like 50 million people died.
What
So that's
superior military strategies would you have employed on the Western Front to have mitigated the loss of life?
Yes, I understand. I understand. It's the same thing you just did with the Civil War. I understand that you are well versed in all of the factors leading up to war, and that if any one that I choose, you will bring out 20 more. That's not my point, though.
If you're
My point was-
interested in the mechanisms by which you could avoid large scale conflict altogether, I think those are worth looking at. But I don't think you have to, I don't know, pontificate alternate histories in order to arrive at that. If you don't want there to be another civil war, then that's fine. But then the question is, well,
I
how do
don't
you
want there to
avoid
be
that?
another Civil War.
Well, then how do we avoid that then? I don't want another civil war.
Well, I think that dehumanization is a necessary step in war. And what I'm concerned about is, as I see that happening, when people disagree about political topics. I'm not specifically pointing a finger at you, but I think that discourse on all ends, particularly the further you are toward whatever side you're
Snap
on,
and boom. Is that?
becomes increasingly punch Nazis.
Where can I see medals?
Well,
Or what does
Antifa,
that mean?
BLM's a terrorist organization.
There's no
whatever-
medals.
whatever
Yeah, I
your,
thought so.
talking
No
points
medals.
are.
Yeah.
Do you think that
And-
rhetoric is comparable?
Yes.
How so?
It reads like war propaganda. I just think it's the same thing that you have to convince people of in order to convince them to kill another person. And I don't think we should be doing that.
Well, should
And
it come
so
down
that's why
to it?
pedophilia is so attractive to me. Because it's they're the most dehumanized group. And so if I can get people to empathize with pedophiles, if I had my time machine, this is what I would have fucking been doing before the Civil War. Then if you can empathize with a pedophile, you can empathize with anybody. Or a Nazi. I guess the right hates pedophiles and the left hates Nazis.
I think that disliking pedophilia is a fairly bipartisan affair, or at least both groups play at it.
There's not a hyper fixation. There's a fixation. I don't think the right likes fascism either, but there's a fixation on the right with pedophilia, and there's a fixation on the left with Nazis.
I think that these are largely incomparable.
Let's go. We
in
got a
large
tank and
part
all assault.
because,
Beautiful.
First of all, I
Nobody
think a
be
lot of the
support. We
right's
don't need it.
opposition to it is projection, a la QAnon. And second of all, I think that opposition to Nazism is quite justified in almost any form that it takes, constrained only by pragmatism.
Thank you,
In fact, I
Sky.
struggle to imagine a scenario in which you would not want children being raised to the tune of fucking
All right,
Nazis.
Sonic Speed,
Young
you
people
got it.
taught why they should hate Nazis in school.
He said, "Let's
Seems
go
like an
Sonic Speed."
extraordinary virtuous thing.
Let's
to
fucking do
instill in
it.
people.
Well, because of the
Antifa.
reason
He's
you
trying to
must
get that.
Because if you are raised to say fuck Nazis,
Gotta beat
you're
it
being
by
raised to believe you
5.5
are not and
minutes, I
cannot be
think.
a Nazi.
No, I think it's possible to hate Nazis while being sort of understanding of the sociological precursors to it. You know, what leads to it, what internal traits to fight against or to.
I don't. When I see hate groups, the groups who hate Jews or black people or gay people, I do not see the kind of socio-political, economic empathy that you're describing there.
Yeah,
To
because I
me,
don't think those are comparable. There's no sociological justification, not prescriptively, for hating Jews, black people, gay people. There's a very good one for hating Nazis. Actually, there are quite a few. So I don't
no,
think.
but I'm saying that if you hate black people, if you especially say black looters, that hatred is usually not accompanied by a complex understanding that were you a black poor person with the same social and economic and political pressures on you, you might actually
What
affect
the
it.
fuck?
Hate and empathy are mutually exclusive. I guess just that maybe it's just a semantics thing, but I think raising people to hate
Fucking
Nazis
teabagging my body. Fuck you,
includes
bitch.
raising people to empathize with the our boogeymen.
I think you can empathize with the circumstances by which people become them. But I think there's something categorically different between bigotry against black people or Jews and hating Nazis. And that, at least by the normative standards most people hold themselves to, you can logically justify hating Nazis. Opposition
that's
to
not
or
why-
violence against them is something that you can construct philosophically and defend at academic levels if you want to. For black people and Jews, that just doesn't track. It's usually the biases or just emotional hatred that really justifies their beliefs.
Well, I don't think that's true. I think there are legitimate reasons to dislike black people or Jews
What would those
statistically.
be?
Well, I think it
What?
comes down to a combination of being taught to hate, taught to not empathize, and then taught to I guess just a lack of empathy and channeling of blame onto those people. I'm not
Oh,
saying
that I
like-
don't disagree with, but that can't be prescriptively justified.
But
you could only say like why somebody is that.
well,
You
that's what I'm
couldn't
saying is
argue
I
in
don't.
favor.
Then, the mechanism by which you're saying people should be raised to hate Nazis is the same way people are raised to hate blacks and Jews too.
Not at all. They're very, very different.
I guess I just disagree.
Keep his ass in the corner. You're punished.
Disagree. I believe
Look at the
if you
corner.
tell your kids to hate somebody, they probably
Write him sorry 100
How
times
can you
over.
prescriptively
Write your teacher a letter. Tell him you're sorry for pissing in her desk.
explain why people hate it, because that's a sociologist's job. You know, why are people?
Oh, the T-Rex are ready.
Prescriptively argue.
We're not ready.
Why should they feel this way or the other?
Oh.
'Cause I can do it easily with Nazis. Nazis political.
We're done
views
for.
Make it actually quite easy. To
This is badly organized. I have to fix my chair.
if you, I mean, any group of people is going to do things that make it easy to hate them. I don't think it.
Yep,
I don't
the
know
bot.
what the difference is here because
Sky already left.
you can just look around and see any group you see. There's going to be a fuck ton of people who hate that group. And if you ask them why, they'll be able to
jeez.
tell you why, and some of the things they'll say will be true, and some of the things they say won't be true.
Who's that?
But
But what if they? So I guess what I'm asking you fundamentally is, do you think there's a difference between a good thing and
Bitch.
a bad thing, or a good argument and a bad argument?
no,
Because
there's a
Bro,
difference
this
between- I don't think
T-Rex.
there's a difference between good hate and bad hate.
Okay.
I think
so
that's where a disconnect is.
So
So you
is-
think it is okay to not empathize with Nazis and to hate them, and I don't.
a slave's hate for
This stun
Israelis
grenade does
is
nothing.
the
The
same as the
T-Rex
massive
just
hate
keeps
for-
attacking. It's like
No.
little fucking
To say they're the
firecrackers.
same, they're not the same because you just changed the roles, so they're not the same at all. Of course they're not.
That's hate.
I'm
They're
saying-
both
Thank you,
cases, there's
Catwoman.
Hate between them. Is that not the same?
That's not a fair question.
Is it? I thought you just said that all hate is the same. I'm sorry if I
That
misunderstood.
stun grenade does nothing.
No, I said I don't think there's a difference between good hate and bad.
So do you think?
Bro,
those are
where
both
is the
bad
team?
hates?
Where is everybody?
Yeah.
Some.
But you think
Oh,
there's a difference?
vigilantes. Somebody else is dead.
A difference in how easy it is for me to.
Oh, he
empathize
quit.
with one
Okay,
versus
that
the
makes
other.
sense.
For sure, it's a lot easier to empathize with a slave hating their master.
Man.
Obviously.
I think,
just gonna
I
quit.
don't- I feel like your association between hate and empathy is tenuous at best. I think it's possible to hate something while still being empathetic. In fact, I
And
think empathy
I
can
don't.
actually enhance hate to an extent because it demystifies the person and it makes you more familiar with, or at least more receptive to why they might be what they are, which can only throw the terrible nature of their choices further into the limelight. I don't think
Okay,
there's
so do you
necessarily.
have empathy for white supremacists?
By empathy, what do you mean?
Oh, it doesn't matter what I mean. We're both using the word already fine until now. My question is like do you have empathy for white supremacists?
I think-
and you're asking me why because you're going to say, do I have like a scientific neurobiologist's like dissecting understanding of them? And like I know you have that, but my question is, do you care?
I'm not as educated as you seem to think I am. There are a bunch of characteristics associated with empathy, some of which I feel for white supremacists and some that I don't. So empathy in that I understand they're humans with fallible decision-making systems. Empathy in the sense that I know if born in the wrong family in the wrong time, I could have had the beliefs they have, certainly. But
You
empathy,
care about them.
care about, yeah, I have to. You have to change their minds. But empathy, I think to you, I think you can have empathy for the Nazis as you
go.
got arrested. I think that you could have empathy for the slave master while you break, his farming tools over his head and steal his clothes. I think you could have empathy for your oppressor as you slaughter them. I don't think, to me, maybe my definition of empathy is different from yours. It's a consideration of their humanity. But humans do things sometimes that make them worthy of death, at least in our open conflict, if not through the judicial system. So we
I
have
think
different definitions, definitely.
Yeah, but I don't think that's much of a hindrance. I don't believe that people do things that make them worthy of death. I don't believe in the death penalty.
Not
And-
judicially, I agree with you. I think there are better ways there. But, if Auschwitz-Birkenau is being staffed by Nazi guards who will open fire when Allied soldiers approach, I don't see any reason why it's morally wrong to crack a few off before you approach the camp. Or knowing, for example, that there are supply lines that are, feeding the Western Front that you could bomb and save yourself the trouble in the long run. There are plenty of things that you could do that are justifiable and involve
Good shit,
death
good
that are not
shit.
judicial in nature.
Zephyr,
Or
god damn
civil
it.
war. They started that war after all. Kind of brought it
You're
up.
lucky they didn't respond.
And
Oh shit.
I think it would be better to admit to yourself that you're probably killing a large number of people who don't really deserve to die.
Sure, but deserving there is kind of a tricky word. The better question for me is there a better alternative which hurts fewer people? And with regards to the Civil War, my belief there is no. I think that by the time the North committed to military action, that was the best possible option. And likewise
Yeah,
with
so-
Nazi Germany, we should have started off way earlier with that one.
So I understand that's your belief, but do you
Good
understand?
shit. Did we get these guys? Yup.
Well, I think that yours is inapplicable mostly. I don't know how you can make decisions if.
Well, whether you
you're
think
always-
it's stupid or naive, I'm asking, do you
Good
understand?
shit. Oh, kill this guy.
understand
Do
your
you
perspective.
understand? Do you understand? Yeah. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I understand where you're coming from. I don't know how it can motivate your decisions though. Like I don't know what like choices it would lead a person to. Like how would it influence their behavior?
My behavior?
If you had control over things, you know, I mean, if you had some meaningful power and you could influence the world. I mean, we all do, of course, in our own way, but maybe more. You know, there's never really the ideal option. There are shades of gray, and for me, it's just a matter of what the least gray shade is. I don't think there's an
Might be a little
ideal. I
too
feel that way
close.
about voting. I feel that way about ethics broadly. So you know, do I wish things could have been better? Sure, but I know that
God
there's
damn it, way
probably
too far.
not much utility in fixating on that past the point of no return. Right now, we don't need to have a civil war in the United States, right? I mean, we don't have to, I suppose. But one might happen, maybe, and if it is, then we should be ready for it, shouldn't we? And if it's not, then we should do what we can to prevent it. But I don't think people are gunning for it as though it's a foregone conclusion, at least not yet.
Do you care about white supremacists or other extreme political
Get in here, Nimbus.
opponents
We need
of
you.
yours beyond your ability to make them into you or like you?
Yeah, I would care about them, their ability to hurt me, and the people I care about.
Do you, I'm talking about Captain Planet, Care Bear, Power Rangers.
Oh Jesus, god damn.
Care about.
Fucking flying everywhere.
Care about them the way you care about like a stray cat on the street.
I suppose.
like-
I hope they have good
Oh,
lives.
Jesus,
I don't
this is
think
not
there's
good.
any utility in
But
their
do you have
suffering.
an emotional care? Do you know what I'm asking?
Which is emotional, like do I feel for them? I
Yes.
suppose. I mean, they languish, I guess, in their ignorance. I think that's unfortunate.
Fuck.
But I don't know how relevant it is. I mean, oh, do you laugh? Do you not think they're ignorant? They're white supremacy?
I think that if we were like dating or something.
Oh,
you
God
said,
damn
"Alex,
it.
Do you care about me?
Kill
And I
him.
said,
Ah.
you languish in your ignorance.
Good shit, good
I
shit.
don't think you would say like, oh, he cares. So it's not a
Well, I wouldn't date a white supremacist. You know.
Hey, she's doing a pretty good job.
I'm not. That's not my point though.
Roadblock.
I'm saying.
All right, let's do this. Shit.
I'm saying, do you care? I feel like the answer is no.
Well, I mean, caring has a lot of definitions. You know.
I'm using the one of where you care about like a younger sibling, or you care about an old man who's trying to find a seat on the subway. Like the kind of care where it's not a close interpersonal relationship, but you care about
Let's
their
go.
well-being. You want what's best for them.
My interest in their suffering begins and ends at points where I think it's politically expedient. Anything past that, and I don't benefit at all from them being hurt. And as a general rule, I prefer people to be happy.
Okay. Do you see the difference between that and me saying like I care about
Get 'em,
them,
boys.
I care about their feelings, and I want to,
Well, it really
help
depends on
them.
their feelings, I suppose. But the nebulousness of the term care is doing a lot of work here. I mean,
Well,
you
you
know,
could just see that I'm much more warm and fuzzy towards my political enemies or whatever than you are. Like
Sure.
just generally, we can,
Yeah.
can acknowledge that, right?
I think my
Good shit.
political
He's dead.
enemies well deserve the scorn.
Kill his ass.
Right, and so you see how that. So again, this is all just part of my introduction. That's
Perfect.
antithetical to what my channel is trying to do. I'm trying to say, give me your Nazis, give me your radical Antifa
Good shit.
terrorists, give me your
Not that
Muslim
good time,
terrorists,
but
give me your white supremacist.
pretty good run.
Whoever's the furthest out, whoever thinks they're the most hated, pedophiles, everybody's welcome. let's sit and talk. That's my channel, and it's not about
5'11".
trying to get people to switch sides. It's not about turning people against each other, and it's not about winning. So all that.
I think the earliest I could play 447. What is that? 513 on the
I just don't
timer.
want to discuss one of these 3 topics.
I'm not going anywhere. Sure.
Damn, we gotta do. Oh.
Well, I was more asking if are you going to eject me, or are we?
No, I'm not ejecting you. I just
okay,
don't. I just don't.
Barrage's
I mean,
special is
you know,
really
you
fucking
can
good.
throw off compassion if you
If
want.
we
I
get a
just
bunch of
think I
barrages, we
distinguish
can clear that
critically
last
between
round
good
out
things and bad
easy.
things. I actually think that's a very, very important distinction.
Yeah.
A bunch of
and
barrages and a
I don't
roadblock.
Right. Well, I guess that's a way of thinking of things. Sure. Yeah. With that in mind, though, I have no idea what kind of prescriptive statements you could ever make on any issue if you don't distinguish between good and bad things and just sort of ubiquitously believe all people deserve consideration regardless of the morality of their positions. I don't know where you'd go from there.
I guess that's just not my compass by which I would make prescriptive statements or have preferences. I guess I think more of it as preferences. Like, you know, if I see somebody riding their bike and then somebody says, "Do you want that person to get hit by a car?" I will say no, because I don't want it. It's not a philosophical stance. So I don't. Well, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I'm
So
not going anywhere.
do you want to pick one of these topics? Should we let the chat pick one?
No,
Or-
dealer's choice. What do you have the strongest opinions on?
Are you sure? I don't think I'm the dealer, but I get what you're saying. Well, I just talked to Destiny about gender for a long time the other day.
Well, then perhaps out of respect for the people who watch both of our channels.
Oh
we'll
shit,
ask
that's just what I asked for.
about BLM or something else.
Something else, I mean, pedophilia.
Or that.
Well, it's yeah. I think your stances on
That'd be
pedophilia
my
are
boyfriend.
more controversial than mine. If you're still sticking to your, there shouldn't be. What'd you say? I've seen no moral or legal argument about why child porn should be illegal. And a lot of people think I'm a pedophile, so I could do like a little PR repair by arguing against you there.
I think that my views on the subject are quite a lot less controversial than most people believe. I think I was making a very spicy argument against unethical commodity consumption that has been wildly misinterpreted, such as life.
Oh yeah, I know what argument you were making, but well, I've heard 2 quotes. Okay, let's talk about pedophilia, because I'm getting ready to make a big video about pedophilia. I think in the next few months, and I think, you know, chewing over some of the ideas with you might be a good idea, and it probably won't do anything for my image now that I'm thinking through what I'm saying. Okay, so do you want to explain yourself, Ash?
Oh, it's probably
There's
nothing
a-
my community hasn't heard, and also probably nothing you've not heard. But
My
I
understanding
think
is that
it's
you were saying if
bad
we're
to
gonna-
have sex with children. It's a hot
Yes,
take
I
in
know.
some circles, anime lovers and the like, but you know.
My understanding is that your stance is that if you're gonna say it's okay to indirectly use child slave labor, then child porn is not that different.
My
And that
sta-
it's hypocritical.
My
to-
stance is that society has taken the easy route by denouncing an element of unethical consumption that they can all very easily agree is terrible, as it is.
Yes.
And
yes.
that they have been very, very deliberately silent in other ways in which children are
Yes.
hurt.
You're saying they're both bad, not that they're both good, obviously.
That's
Or
correct.
that one is, yeah,
And
I got that.
Quite happy that one of the two, at the very least, is currently criminalized.
Okay. Do you think owning child porn should be a crime?
Yeah. Might as well, right? I mean, we've already done the work on that one. No sense in undoing it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Let's go to other. Do you think pedophilia, to any extent, is it?
Oh, he healed me. He gave me a speed boost. That's what it is.
I'm not entirely
Witch
sure
Doctor?
what the
Who is that?
DSM's definition of a sexual
fuck did that?
orientation is. I don't.
Let's
I
say
think
we're
it's.
writing the DSM.
I think it's categorically
Oh, Witch
different
Doctor,
from
yeah.
heterosexuality, homosexuality, or anything else like that.
Do you think it is, to any extent, do you think it is the same as any of those things?
I mean, I suppose it manages people's attraction towards others, but apart from that, I don't even
Careful,
think it's
careful,
critical,
Jesus.
Right?
Shit.
Um,
No T-Rex yet?
so, do you see any utility in labeling it as a sexual orientation?
No, I think it'd be the opposite of utility. The medical terminology is geared around the relationship between our brains and normative social behavior. Mental illnesses, after all, are defined as things that cause us harm in society. They prevent us from functioning normally. And I think that...
How did he hit me through the shield?
You might guess.
The
Prevents
fuck?
one from functioning normally. Not put too fine a point on it. A sexual orientation should be something normal and healthy. Pedophilia can never be that. So a paraphilia is what it should be defined as. And I think that is what it's defined as presently.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Shit!
Do you think that there is ever any utility in thinking of it as functioning like a sexual orientation?
God damn
I'm not
it.
talking about, when I ask this question, I'm saying, let me rephrase it. To what extent and
I'm a
why
fucking
do you
idiot.
think
I don't know
it
why I
is a
tried
good
that.
idea
Now I
to
can try
label
it.
as a sexual orientation in various situations? For example,
God! Dude! I'm dying so much.
if you're trying to empathize with a pedophile, or if you're trying to understand that this
I'm dying too.
conversion therapy might not work.
God
for this
damn it, I
person,
thought this
or,
would be a good game.
That this
Fuck.
person, yes, should be treated as though they're mentally ill or receive treatment for whatever, blah blah. But also, it should be seen as this kind of like immutable part of themselves that they and maybe others are just going to have to live with.
No, because I think even if
Man.
you choose your goal, and you know, to be, I think in some circumstances quite suspect, depending on the relevant intentions, you can still be empathetic towards a person with a mental illness. You'd still define it as something socially non.
Yep, people are already starting to leave.
Destructive and
I'm
harmful.
out.
By referring to it as a paraphilia as opposed to a sexuality, you normalize its unhealthy relationship with social function, which I think is good, you know. Because of course, if you called it
you think
a
it's 100%
sexuality,
good?
as to not refer to it as a sexuality, yes, I think it's bad to refer to it as a sexuality.
But I'm saying you think it's purely bad. Like there's no ever reason to ever think about it like that at all, no matter what.
Suppose if aliens had a gun to your head and told you they'd shoot you if you didn't change your definitions? I mean, you could always find some edge case. As a social rule, though,
Well,
overwhelmingly...
I'm asking you to search your heart and see if there is an edge case in there, and if you don't find one, then sure. But that's what I'm asking you about the edge cases, and something more realistic than the alien scenario.
I can't think of one. The alien scenario is my honest-to-God best effort. I don't think that there's any reason to. Even if your goal was empathy or, you know, corrective treatment or anything like that, I still think that you would have to refer to it as paraphilia. I think there'd be more utility in that. I don't know what utility there'd be in the opposite, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a therapist, right? I mean, if, for example, if you go into therapy and you say, you know, I think I might have this, that, or the other, you know, it's quite bad, they'll refer to it as a paraphilia, but I don't think that's antithetical to their goal of treating or mitigating, you know, your non-normative or harmful sexual desires. I think those are in line.
Is it ever good to if you're a pedophile, to stop thinking of yourself as sick? To if you can't fix it.
You can't fix it. I don't know.
Like, you're supposed to just accept that it's a paraphilia. I guess there's something wrong with you. They're
Why are you taking a support, you
I
dumb
think sickness
dipshit?
is kind of vague there. You have to accept that it's always going to be a harmful part of you. If it's something that you can't fix, I mean, you know, what is or isn't a sickness? That encompasses a lot of stuff. You know, having the sniffles is a sickness. In this case, it would be, you know, having a predatory desire or having...
Now he's
you know,
vigilante. What?
A predilection towards predation or something like that.
Thank you, Sky.
That goes beyond sickness. I mean, sickness isn't necessarily socially wrong. This would be a, you know, some people have a compulsive violent thoughts, for example. I know that's a thing. Like some schizophrenics might have that, for example. If they want to go with sickness as the word they use there, then fine. I mean, the important part is that they know those thoughts are never acceptable. Something they should act on.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I agree with you. What other contentious questions are raised about this? Simulate. Wait, I'm gonna change. Here's my headphones back.
Been known to have.
Yeah. Okay. Can I still hear you?
I can hear you.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, I have to change it in Discord.
Ah.
There we go. Okay. Nice. Okay. Next question. Simulated child porn. Lolly stuff.
I think it's pretty sussy.
What was that?
Jesus
I think that if you have
Christ.
an interest in that sort of stuff, you should definitely be checking yourselves to why. You know, like, the thing that really bothers me about this shit, apart from the fact that anytime you want to look at, like, hentai on a hentai site, you have to, like, negate the tag lolly and thus 50% of the site's content. The thing that bothers me is people who pretend there's no relationship whatsoever between, like,
Good
drawn
shit.
lolly shit and actual attraction to children. Of course there's a relationship. It's ridiculous to pretend otherwise. So they need to be aware of that, if anything.
Are you saying that based
Jesus
on common
Lord.
sense, or is there any evidence?
Yeah, we don't need support suits. We're
Any
fine.
evidence of that? You mean, okay, so
Going for
I've,
world record here.
I've had a bunch of links thrown at me.
Oh, we're
who
wasting
are,
time? God damn
Again,
it.
very sussy. Trying to argue there's
Oh,
not
we're not.
actually a
We're good.
relationship between instances of child predation and access to, like, lolicon or whatever.
Shield's a
I
little
would-
too
I
close
would-
there,
I would assume
Roadblock, but
there's a correlation
appreciate the
between
effort.
people who really want to believe that and people who are pedophiles. So
oh,
yeah,
God, no!
for sure that-
Ah, fuck!
Just you where you're at now. I'm saying, are you arriving at that
God damn it!
because of like some study I don't know about, or you just think it's obvious?
It's not a study that I'm not speaking on this through a study you're not aware of. I think it's categorical. I think that the fetishization of youth, to the extent that you're fetishizing the bodies or mentalities of underage people, is categorically harmful. Because even if somehow, and I don't know if there's any research indicating this, even if somehow you could find that there is zero correlation between any criminal behavior there at all, and you know, the widespread consumption of hentai, lolicon, whatever, you know, I still think that it normalizes quite negative things, you know. Or to put it another way, like if I was a kid again, you know, and I'm not, and I like found my dad like looking at like fucking big honkin' Hooters porn one day or some shit like that, like that'd be awkward as hell. But you know, life goes on. The sun rises in the morning. But if I like walked into my parents, like or whatever else, consuming like lolly or Shotokan or some shit like that, I think that would irreparably damage.
All right, let's go.
There'd be some fundamental, like forevermore, some disconnect between them and my ability to trust them. And I think there's reason for that. It's not just like.
I don't think we should get.
Barrage, you better use your fire
I'm just
ability
trying to
here.
explain that. It's so I don't without working on data here. I feel like it's just.
Hey,
bad
barrages, let's use our
to-
fire
to-
abilities when the
to
dinos get
fetishize
close,
them.
right here in the middle.
We fetishize the fuck, for instance, out of female youth. You know, we do it to men to an extent, but mostly to women. And this like evolves in so many creepy ways that things don't even get talked about, like child beauty pageants or this.
Oh, fuck, I
the
missed mine.
obsession with like
That's
barely
essentially
legal.
porn. Yeah,
Get 'em, boys, get 'em!
Yeah. So it's
Barrage
it's
explode!
holistic. It's not just lolly or shota, though. I think that's particularly egregious outcropping of it. I think it's just this whole,
Barrage is changing. Did we get him?
long-standing
Got this one left.
global infatuation.
I don't think we're gonna get it.
with young women. I guess youth in general, but the lolly stuff's more of a problem than shota stuff, and I think that should stop.
Yep.
It's probably pretty bad.
Stop. And you think it should stop by what mechanism?
Culturally, I think it has to be opposed. So like
Okay,
you
so
could
it should be legal, but we should be like, hey,
raise.
Dad, don't do that.
Well, I hope I say that. You can raise the age of consent to 25, but then there would be like.
So we can get
barely
some good
legal
time.
25.
I should have waited for
Like
my
that-
ability
that-
and got
that's
both
gonna
of them,
remain
man.
no
I
matter
fucked.
what
I
you
fucked my
do
team
to
again.
surround it. And
Can't
you
stop
can do it
fucking
if
my
you
team
want.
right in their goddamn mouth.
We're gonna draw 1,000-year-old girls who just happen to have. the
Giving them
bodies of
throat
kids.
sores. I'm sorry
You
for
can
the
always
throat
walk
sores,
away from that
guys.
crap.
My bad.
Here's a thought experiment.
Hopefully some of you
I'm
got
gonna-
the
I'm gonna
fighter
open
medal if you didn't have it.
A string
Man.
of strip clubs in Las Vegas. It's going to be called Mr.
I'm
Girls.
so dumb, bro.
Whatever you want, Emporium. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And In one strip club, the strippers are 25.
Yeah, Barrage is the
24,
ultimate
23,
for this.
22,
We just need Barrage
all
and
the way
Nimbus.
down to
Barrage, Nimbus, and Roadblock.
Each strip club, and this is a sovereign state, so there's no laws. In each club, everyone is the same age. Okay, so if you want to watch babies crawl around, or you want to watch 100-year-olds, we'll start at 100. So basically,
Oh,
everybody,
Jesus.
all the women
No!
have to work here. My question is, in America now, which club do you think would be the most popular if this were to open tomorrow?
In a sovereign state adjacent to America.
Yeah, and it's like, it's, you know, there's no one, identities are, there's no issues of social ostracization. Nobody knows, everybody's wearing whatever, disguises.
The
Disguises?
closest argument you could make there, I think, is from European.
No wonder
literature
everybody's wearing
from
disguises.
the
They're all
olden
watching
days,
fucking
and it
child
seems like
porn and-
predation against girls spiked up around like 14 to 16. So if you could,
I'm asking,
if
but
all the
just looking
degenerate
around
sex
you-
tourists,
Yeah, looking around you at America now. I want you to base this just on your sense. You know a lot of people. You talk to a lot of people about this. And we all.
you know, I haven't talked to a lot of people about this specifically. I'm going
Okay,
to.
well,
be
we just
forthcoming.
we run in different circles, but based on your observations of American humans, which club is the most popular? Let's say men, straight men are going, and they're women.
Culturally, I don't think that we've done anything to appropriately discourage that kind of predatory behavior towards girls. So my guess is that it would be somewhere between 14 to 17. I think that culturally
what
we've
if it's
done
a one-way mirror? The
extremely
girls
little.
don't know. The girls don't know that you're. Is it even predatory to go look at them? They don't know that you're looking at them.
I would say that
The
it's
one-way-
predatory.
It's a website where you can log in and look at locker rooms. Just forget the slavery aspect.
I would continue to believe that's predatory.
Got a Krieger. Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
multiple
Let's get it.
But much harder type of predatory behavior to discourage if no one will ever.
Zephyrs,
know
you better.
that
Witch
that camera
Doctor,
is there.
we're gonna
If
need
you
you.
put a camera in an underage girl's locker room and the police found it, I assure you that they would be able to very quickly, succinctly, and with great confidence explain to you what you did wrong.
All right, then I have to go take care of something. No, I'm just kidding. All right, what if? Okay, motherfucker, you're adding all this shit in. I want you to.
I'm not. If you're trying to catch me in a hot take, it's not. I've argued raising the age of consent.
I'm not trying to catch. Do you think I'm trying to trap you after what I said to you? After
Why
I
did
told you
one
I
of
was
them
a
leave?
Care Bear?
God damn
You
it.
think I'm
Now
trying
we're
to-
stuck with a
You
bot.
think this is a sting?
Perfect. At least he's dead eye. He's gonna stay
Listen.
back.
Androids. Fucking perfect replicas. The strip thing again. No one is getting hurt. They just look exactly like humans. My question is, which club is the most popular? My question is, where do you think we're at? And I'm asking it in kind of a exciting way because we're in public. But where do you think we're at? What is
I genuinely don't think that much has been done to culturally discard
Oh, shit, my
the
bad,
average
guys.
modern guy from the attitudes that we had back in antiquity
Okay,
towards
so
women
what-
and attractiveness towards women.
and what number?
I think it would be
Do you
somewhere
not
from
wanna answer this
14.
question?
No, I think it'd be somewhere from 14 to 17. I don't
Which
think
one?
we've changed.
Those are big. That's a big
I
difference.
have no idea, and I couldn't even begin to think by which categories I would separate them.
Bitch, explode.
You know, I had a someone I knew who.
So, you know, if you're going to admit to any crimes, I would really rather not be listed in whatever federal reports are filed, so I would prefer it be done the video on your stream, unrelated to my own.
No, there's no crime. No crimes.
Hopefully not, because it was kept in a sovereign state, as opposed to the United States of America.
Yeah, this takes place on the.
Go. Good time. Good time. 8.5. Bot's doing nice. Not fucking us over yet.
Wait, are you? Can I ask you some biographical questions?
Sure.
Are you from Beverly Hills? I've heard this, but I don't know
Yeah,
if it's true.
I was born there.
Okay, but you don't live there.
No.
Okay. Because I worked in Beverly Hills for many years as a personal trainer. And so in the gym, you get to know people. people
Oh,
from
shit.
different countries with different norms, and man, the shit they would say about high school girls, and tell me like that if they could be with a girl of any age, if it was socially acceptable, it would be 15. It was like super,
Thank you for the healing.
like normal to them. It's very, very.
Oh,
different
good shit,
from
we got 'em.
Online discourse.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
it's
you're saying-
deeply unfortunate.
Yeah, I want to get to that in a
Asshole.
second, but you're saying 14 to 17, and you will not, you won't pick a number?
I will absolutely not pick a number within my range.
Because you don't have a guess, or because you don't want to be flipped saying it?
Because I don't even know by what category you would distinguish into that group, and because I'm referring only to my feelings on other people's predilections, not my own. So you're not asking
Thank
me
you
for
for
my
the healing.
preference, you're asking me what I
Thank you
expect
so much.
of the average American.
We're doing
A group of
so
which I
good
can
right
find low
now.
aggression.
We're doing so good.
But you don't want to say the number?
I don't have a number. Do you have a number? Is there a number you're looking for?
I think it's 15.
Get him.
Well, I suppose
Get
we'll
'em!
leave it to the historians to judge.
Good shit.
Maybe 16. It might be. I think it would be 14 at first, and then it would move up once the novelty wore off. I think it would be 15 or 16.
Is this consideration?
fucking go.
in line with
Record
your desire
time.
to empathize with pedophiles, or is it something more personal than that?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you
Go
sound
get them
like a
both in the
pedophile,
middle.
not
I'd be
a
nice and
person who wants
patient.
to promote empathy from social misalignment.
Why do I sound like a pedophile?
Because you're dedicating a considerable amount of thought to the subject of what type of underage girl people would be most interested in.
What color? If you had to guess
Got 'em
what
both?
color their underwear would
No,
be.
just
What color?
maybe.
I'm asking.
Maybe I only knocked down one. Oh, no! I was keeping a team together. They need me.
You people asked for.
Fuck, man, with the auto one shot. Jesus.
This is on you.
The unblockable one shot. Genius. Great.
End up having whatever.
Great
Fuck
combat
that.
design. Perfect.
You all get any
Just like
discord
fucking
DMs,
Diablo.
Mr. Girl, I
Goddamn
suppose.
top-down RPG shit.
All right.
Come on, bitch! Get die!
Woo!
Woo!
So this is what I mean by like the.
Holy
This is what
shit.
I mean by like the Trojan horse.
Holy shit, good fucking game.
Statements that most
God damn!
psychologists would agree with.
Woo!
In order to minimize the harm done to children.
Yeah,
we have to
baby!
maximize the number of
Just
people
another
who
day at the
really
construction
care
yard.
about therapy. That's
God
that's
damn,
the,
good game.
We have to maximize the number of people who go to therapy. because
God
that's-
damn, boy! Oh, put that dick in
One
that
of the
booty
ways to
hole.
increase the
That big
likelihood
old dino booty hole, but my
is
dick
by,
fit. It was
is-
small,
is
but
by,
it
like,
fit.
making
And Witch
people
Doctor too. Oh, he
they
was
go to
so
therapy,
good.
They'll like.
The best Witch Doctor I've
they're
played
not just
with.
gonna be, like,
Gee, he's better than me. He's better than me with Witch Doctor.
And that's true, you know. And,
Oh my
and
God,
sometimes
please
people
tell me
will
I got
approach
top
the
40.
subject in a way which makes
Please.
essentially they use language that would like
Oh, let me do War
make
Chest before my
pedophiles
dreams
think
are
they should
crushed.
never go to therapy
And I find out I
because
need like
they'll
a
be,
fucking 3 minute.
empowered by their therapist and their life will be blah, 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 and then increases the blah, blah, blah. The issue is that there are plenty of people, you know, this may or may not be relevant to our current conversation, who will sort of Trojan
Got a
horse
skin
actual creepo
Nimbus.
shit
Get over here.
into that relevant point. You know what I mean? So
Nice,
the
you gave me a
relevant
shit
point
brown
would be
pistol.
like,
Thank
okay,
you.
well, I think in order to
Give me the
minimize
fucking red.
you have to
Fighter
you have
still.
to
Oh my
if
god,
not
top 30
better, at
though.
least, like, you have to use language that
Ah,
increases the likelihood of getting
top
into therapy.
20. What do I have
But
to
then
do
it's
with
like,
it? This is
then
probably
we're
just
all
gonna
of a
keep
sudden
getting
talking
tighter
about
too.
girls' panties when they
For the top 20%, I'm
hypothetical
probably gonna need
underage, you know, stateless society strip clubs or whatever.
maybe like a 4-minute flat.
Sometimes that shit.
But that's
gets,
still really
you know,
good. Oh shit.
Trojan
A
horse,
426. Damn, that was fast.
His name is Mr. Grover.
Alright, I'm done playing. That's probably as good as I'm gonna get with random partners and a fucking
Listen,
bot
Rebecca,
too.
you might have
That
to-
bot was working magic.
So the song is called.
Oh my god. What a good game. What a good
I
game.
can fantasize.
Alright,
about
Savage
whatever I
Gauntlet. There's
want.
no other content.
The
I
third
think I want to go
one
back to
is-
Remnant.
I probably shouldn't read out loud because if I did, I would be for it. People think that I would be saying it in reference to myself.